everybody. I am Hoardergamer, and this is Hoarder's Comic Flex. And we have a special show tonight. An even more special show than last week's, where it was like the best of 2022. This is really going to focus on the future of comics, gaming, and visual media. Because I didn't want to have to constantly say TV and movies. So even though comics and games are a type of visual media, I'm using it as to separate those two things. Hey Hero, how you doing? So if you're ready for a comic book review this week, or toys or anything like that we're going to look at, not this week. So I apologize right there. That will be next week and every other episode, unless I do a best of 2023 at the end of the year, then, Also, I'm going to set it up right now. Maybe I'll come up with a really cool idea for a special episode, and then it won't have a normal format either. I'm saving myself right there. I'm saving myself right there. Because otherwise I promise that it's going to have this exact format, and I'm made into a liar. And I don't want to do that, so. What? Bollocks! Hero, that's not a Canadian thing to say. That's a British thing to say. Anyway, we're going to start out with the future. Oh, we're going to have some fun with the audio here. The future of games in 2023. Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. See, what's funny is, if you're reading that, it'd be tomato, tomato, potato, potato. You'd have to like put an H in potato and like an H in tomato. You'd have to, to write it the way you would say it. Okay, let's get on to our first game, everybody. Now, for the longest time, for I want to say like 2 or 3 years, all you could do is forespeak about this game. But now you can actually foreplay Forspoken. And yes, I've run that joke into the ground. I'll continue. Like, even once the game is out in people's hands, I'll run that joke into the ground. Are you enjoying foreplaying Forspoken? That might be one of the things I say. So, I did enjoy foreplaying Forspoken, the demo at least, because that's all that's available so far. The combat's amazing. The traversal's amazing. The feeling of being Frey and just running through that world and deciding, am I going to fight these enemies? I don't know. I can just outrun them. You can outrun just about every enemy, at least in the demo, which is cool, because sometimes you don't want to get into a big fight. Sometimes you aren't ready. You may not have... There's an item that lets you heal. I forget how that works, but you may not have enough of that. Now, here's the weird thing, though. You can tell that this was a vertical slice from like a game convention type of thing, because there's so much the game doesn't tell you. There's a way to actually throw punches in the game instead of using your flaming sword. I was like, what? There's outcroppings on different cliffs and things like that. They look kind of squarish and weird. If you hold your square button on the controller, you will climb those. You'll actually like ascend to those. I don't recall anyone saying that in the demo. Like, there's an optional boss at the end, a giant alligator type thing, which is a hell of a fun battle. That I liked a lot. And it felt like you could get the timing down on dodging and things like that. It just felt real fluid. unlock the ability to grapple, where there's grappling, right? And that's like climbing up higher, but there's also these specific things and you attach to them and use them to move. I read about that on Reddit. Because like someone had a huge thing of all the points that are in the game that it doesn't explain to you. But what I did play and what I did understand, I thought was great. I think the character of Frey is very interesting. I love the fact that it is a person of color. Very rarely do video games have a main female lead. Like Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's a real popular one. Tomb Raider, okay? But very even more rarely is it someone that isn't, you know, a white chick. You know? It's... So I'm looking forward to this. I think Forspoken will be really good. And everybody, you'll be able to foreplay it on January 24th. And then you can forespeak about it. See how I did that? See that? Taglines and everything. Prepared. Prepared. You didn't have issues? Oh, Mike, you have plenty of issues. How you doing, Mike? It's good to see you. The visuals so well. I know! The character model of Frey and the outfits Frey wears looked insane. The detail. It is next gen only, right? Isn't that only PS5? And at least, what, for 2 years it's PS5 only and not even Xbox. Back in my day, you rented a game and didn't get instructions, and you learned how to play it by expanding your mind with knowledge. Okay, I got to the part of expanding your mind, and I thought you were going to bring up marijuana. I had no idea. or some other illicit drug. Expand your mind, man. More issues than Hoarder's favorite comic store. Yes. Look, Hero got you there, Mike. Hero got you there. I'm not Joe Rogan. Thank God. Thank God you're not. And then just a few days after you foreplay Forspoken, you can check out Dead Space Remake. And you can peel your enemies apart in a sure-to-be gruesome manner. They added something called peeling, so you can, like, separate enemies, not at the molecular level, but, like, tendon, sinew, and bone, and muscle, and it sounds freaking crazy. I gotta be careful not to swear. I was about to drop the S word right there. This is not my channel. I'm borrowing the Doom Squad Gaming YouTube channel, so I don't want to, start swearing up a storm. But yeah, Dead Space was a really cool sci-fi horror game. I've played 1, 2, and 3. Ask me how many of them I beat. Carrying on. I'm really looking forward to the remake, especially because the savior of that style of game, Callisto Protocol, had some issues and wasn't quite the savior that was expected. So it looks like Dead Space, the original, the remake of the original, is going to be the way to go if you want that kind of horror science fiction thing going on. So, yeah, and that's like the 24th is Forspoken, and the 27th of January is Dead Space. So, insane. Insane that we're already having 2 massive games come out in January. Okay. And then in February, we have Hogwarts Legacy of Transphobia. Unfortunately, J.K. Rowling is a TERF and has issues with transgender people. Right now, I honestly don't know if I'm going to be streaming Hogwarts Legacy. It looks amazing. And if you're a fan of the characters in Harry Potter, you know, I don't know how it could look better, to be honest with you. But I don't know if I'm going to stream it. I'm doing very little advertising for it. One thing I am going to do, though, I will be purchasing a copy. So even though I won't stream it, I'll be giving a donation to the Trevor Project. It's a bad situation. You know, the devs didn't ask for her to be awful. And yeah, I don't even know where to really begin with it. I don't recommend. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to be giving a donation to the Trevor Project. I'm not going to tell people of things I've been seeing on Twitter because they're not really legal involving the game. So I think that's a good idea not to do that. That would be amazing. And even the devs have tried to go against her and had it so you can create any type of character you want, including a transgender character. The devs have that in the game where you can do that. And I even have like transgender friends who love the Harry Potter franchise, and they're just like, do they play it? Do they not? If they don't play it, does she win? If you know what that means, because basically it's like, oh, you're not playing it now, even though you wanted to, I won type of thing. Or is it more winning when she gets money for the copy? I don't know. I don't have a perfect answer for it. But I'm going to do very little marketing for the streams if I do stream it. And I may not stream it. I might just play it off stream. But regardless, I'll be giving a donation to the Trevor Project. And I think that's a good way to actually mitigate the damage that J.K. Rowling can do with the money she'd be making for the game. Oh, I definitely don't support her. I don't support any of what she has to say. My support would be more for the developers of the game. They spent like 3 or 4 years working on it. I agree, Hero. I agree. The big issue, though, is that she still gets money for each copy. And I mean, I definitely want to have an open conversation and an honest conversation about that, Now, next up, after that in February, we have a game that could be amazing, could be smoke and mirrors. If you have Game Pass, you don't have to worry about it. Atomic Heart. Russian Bioshock, basically. In 2 words, that's what it looks like. And it looks amazing. In fact, what they've shown looks so good, people are questioning, does the game actually look and play like this? So, I don't know. There's a whole mess of issues with the development of the game. I believe they went to possibly a different studio at one point. I think they scrapped part of it. A lot has been going on with Atomic Heart. A lot. But I think it looks really cool. And like I said, if you have Game Pass, it's part of Game Pass in February. So you don't even have to buy it. You can see what you think of it. Mike, that was more of a roguelike. I truly believe this is more of a Bioshock experience. And something happened and I just lost chat. Okay, hold on 1 second, everybody. One second, please. This page is having a problem. No, really? This page is having a problem. So am I, Paige. Okay. No, but I think it's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, I am happy that I'll be able to find out what it's like before actually purchasing it. I am no one's king. I'm no one's king. But yeah, Atomic Heart. And then in March, everybody, this is a game pretty much everyone I know is looking forward to and probably getting day one. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It happened again. It happened again. Hold on here. What is going on? I'm refreshing it. Holy cow, man. I'm going to see if I can definitely, if it happens again, let's see if I can definitely do that without, you know what I'm going to do actually? Screw it. I'm going to use my phone. Maybe on the phone it'll work fine. I'll just have to make sure this episode is just like an hour so I have enough battery and everything. 1 second, everybody. I can't risk it doing that for the entire thing. Is this your king? That's the most recent thing I have someone written here. Hold on. Do I have video? No, we got video. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. I was not expecting this to happen. This has never happened using the YouTube setup like this. So this is new to me. So. Yes. Okay. Jedi Survivor. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Comes out, I believe it's March 17th. That game is going to be awesome. If you played Jedi Fallen Order, which is one of the best Star Wars games I've ever played, I think you're really going to like this. It's amazing combat, amazing traversal, as well as exploration. It's a Metroidvania in the best way. One issue I had with the first Star Wars Jedi game was the map. The map was a little problematic, to be honest with you. A little bit frustrating at times. So there was that. But I'm looking forward to the new enemies we fight. I think it's going to be an even larger world to explore, more planets to check out, and there's apparently 5 stances, 5 Jedi stances that you can take in combat. So that's really neat. So we got that. Sorry if I seem discombobulated, everybody. We had an issue with chat. And now I don't even know if there's an issue with the video because my phone was having problems pulling up the stream, which, that's interesting. Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. This is a game, one of the games I am most excited for coming out this year. Like, I am thrilled for this. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I really look forward to it. Hold on. I'm actually going to close the video and start it up again to see if any of the chat has gone on. I apologize, anybody. If you are watching currently, I have never had to do this, but I think there's an issue with the entire thing. Could someone just put something into chat? I haven't had any messages in chat for a little bit, and I need to know that it's working somewhat. I don't know if this is a YouTube issue. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much for that, Mike. But yeah, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Okay? And I haven't heard the theme song for the game, but it could go something like this. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Kills the Justice League. You know, I was thinking like kind of a punk rock thing would be really good for it. I am really looking forward to this game. You get to play as Harley Quinn. You get to play as King Shark, as Deadshot, and Captain Boomerang. Now, I'll be completely honest. The character I'm looking least forward to playing is Captain Boomerang. I'm not a big fan of the character. He just seems like a jackass with a boomerang. You know? I'm just not a big fan of him. King Shark gets to bite people's heads off. How cool is that? How much fun is that going to be? And I believe this game has a higher rating than like, or the same rating as Arkham Knight, if not higher, so they can do more with it that's a bit more adult. So I'm guessing it'll be pretty graphic with King Shark. Harley has her bat, so she can, you know, go to town there. It's going to be fun fighting the members of the Justice League. I don't think we actually will kill them. I feel that might be a tongue-in-cheek name for the game. But I'm very much looking forward to it. I had a number of ideas, and like one of them is, so you go to LexCorp. That's in one of the trailers, by the way, and you need kryptonite in order to fight Superman. So what if their cupboards are bare of kryptonite at LexCorp? And what if you have to hunt down Metallo and take his heart? That's just an idea I had. I thought that would be neat. And then the other thing I've always talked about with this game is no Riddler, because you're in Metropolis. What about Mr. Mxyzptlk? I thought it'd be really cool to have Mr. Mxyzptlk show up. And, you know, do his thing. Have like areas of Metropolis that are all screwed up, and you have to figure out why and use different abilities in order to change them or fix them. Oh, also, is it going to be like a Mega Man? Is there some insane way where we get one of the Justice League's abilities once we defeat a member? Or anything like that? Because we don't know exactly the mind control or anything that's going on. So, interested to see. Also, isn't Tinker, I think, in the game? He could have some way of getting those abilities to you that the heroes had. But yeah, we don't know yet if it's a game as a service. For the longest time, it was rumored it was a game as a service, but we aren't 100% sure on that. So, how does everyone feel about that, by the way? Are you going to be happy or upset if it's a game as a service? I think Rocksteady would do a good job with it. I really do. Yeah, I can't see Rocksteady screwing this experience up. You need a break from games as a service? What if it's your favorite studio, though? See, that I can understand that, but with Rocksteady, I can't see this being bad. I also actually feel that they've looked at things like Marvel's Avengers, Destiny, and they understand ways to do this that are going to work. God of War was a nice change of pace. Oh yeah, because it's a huge, massive game, and it's not like episodic or anything like that. It's a complete game. Yeah, I mean, there's still games like that to come out, and that's great. I am about halfway through that game, by the way. Also about halfway through Midnight Suns now. Both fantastic games. Two of my favorites of last year. But again, that's last year, not this year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm wondering if they're going to have a collector's edition for Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. I think they should. WB Games usually do. I'll be surprised if they don't. Although, oddly enough, they didn't do one for Midnight Suns. 2K puts out collector's editions. They had one for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. So, after Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, everybody, we have another massive heavy hitter and another of the games that I'm really looking forward to. Let's see. Hate the devs build FOMO into the titles and make you feel bad when you're away for a week. I don't mind that. It makes the game seem alive. You know, well, see, I've never really had issues with FOMO. I'm like, okay, fine, I missed it. You know? It's like, okay, I'll do whatever the new thing is. Only very rarely am I, like, upset that I missed something in a game. It's rare. But yeah, you make it seem vibrant. You make it seem like it's a living thing with constant changing. Like Metropolis could constantly change in Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. And that would be awesome. You know, the version of Metropolis you see in May could be different than the one you see in like September or October. Could be different villains there. I don't know. Again, we're not sure if it's a game as a service, but it comes out May 26th. So there's got to be some marketing and ads real soon. Like, I honestly thought it would be the IGN first game of January. And I don't even know if they've announced it yet, what that game is. Because IGN usually does a game they cover for the entire month. Game Informer does the same thing. They have a different name for it. But, yeah, I really thought that's what would happen with Suicide Squad. But Diablo 4 comes out a week and a half or so after Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. That is a game I am looking forward to at an insane level. That is a game as a service. But the main campaign is going to be 2 to 3 times longer than Diablo 3. And tons of dungeons to explore, tons of loot to find. Plus, instead of just seasons, which allow the player to come back every few months and like redo a character and, you know, play a different way if they want to, now they're actually going to add like story expansions and things like that as part of the package of the game. So, and they definitely made it seem like it wasn't like you'd get story stuff just like every 2 or 3 years. It sounds more like Diablo Immortal, where like, you know, every year or so, every maybe twice a year, you get some new story missions, some new villains that show up. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've been playing a lot of Diablo 2 recently, and it's Diablo 2 Resurrected. And that game looks beautiful. It plays beautifully. It surprisingly has cross-play and cross-progression, which I'm floored. You know, I'm completely floored by that. Because, like, Diablo 3 doesn't have that. And even Path of Exile doesn't have that. But the Diablo 2 remake does. Part of me is thinking that the technology for that is similar to what Diablo 4 is going to have. So maybe that's why they implemented it, to make sure that that technology will work for Diablo 4. It's possible. But the thing is, so many more people are going to be playing Diablo 4. Like, I got to tell you, like, the trailers, everything make the game look astounding. And there's this weird collector's edition. Doesn't come with the game, but it comes with a candle and some other really cool stuff. And it's only available on the Diablo website. So, but yeah, I think that's really cool. I'm looking forward to the game. Halsey is apparently marketing the game, and in some way is the character Lilith. So, which is also a song off Halsey's last album, produced by 9 Inch Nails, and Halsey performed at the Game Awards in December. So, all of that, like, together. There's a lot going on there. Next up, we got... Oh, nothing big. Not a big game at all. Just Final Fantasy 16. PS5 exclusive. Final Fantasy 16. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm also a little bit saddened by it, because I think Final Fantasy 16 could be the last great proper game from Square Enix. Square Enix is looking to double down on like NFTs and all that, and they just said this recently again. And it's worrisome when they say stuff like that. It makes me think like they're going to completely alter the way they make games and just basically ruin them because of greed. As of right now, it doesn't seem like Final Fantasy 16 is going to be affected by this. So this could be the last truly great Square Enix game and the last great Final Fantasy game. So I'm hoping that's not the case, but it could be that. So, is everyone else looking forward to any specific games? Again, for me, it's Suicide Squad, Diablo, and Final Fantasy 16 is way up there, but not quite as much as Suicide Squad and Diablo. That's going to be really interesting when those come out. Because, like, I'll probably be switching between the two of them, I guess. There's no way I will finish Suicide Squad, even the main campaign, before Diablo comes out. Starfield, yes. Starfield looks awesome. Xbox exclusive, I think PC as well. Yeah, Bethesda RPG. Basically supposed to be like Skyrim in space, according to Todd Howard. The only issue there is, of course, you're going to have Skyrim in space bugs. Any massive role-playing game like that is going to have bugs. And what we've been seeing this generation is that games seem to come out at a certain point, and then they're just like, we'll just patch it. We're in the patch it generation of gaming right now. It was the previous generation and this generation. I don't think that's the best thing, but I kind of feel like if they didn't, the games would never get released. So I don't feel there's a perfect answer there anywhere. Let's see. Wolong Fallen Dynasty. For me, not for me. That looks more like a Soulsborne type game, and it looks like it would just be frustrating. It looks like it would be frustrating. Also, it's going to confuse a lot of people with that game called, I think it's Wukong. Although there's some really weird stuff with the developer on that. I don't know the most recent info on that, but it's not great. Resident Evil 4, definitely. Yes, I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 4 remake, just not as much as Diablo and Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad being that, it's Rocksteady, one of my favorite developers. I've loved all the Arkham games. The one I liked least was Arkham Origins, which is actually Warner Brothers Montreal. But the Warner Brothers Montreal team that did Gotham Knights is mostly different than the team that did Arkham Origins. Because of all the years that passed. Let me see here. I think I know the next game that's coming up. Here we go, everybody. Legend of Zelda. Tears over how quickly weapons break in the kingdom. I'm pretty sure that's the title. And I'm pretty sure as soon as you get a new weapon, it will break. I think the weapon breaking dynamic, I think, was super popular. And I think they want to take that to the next level. I think they want to take weapon breaking to the absolute next level. So look forward to a lot of your swords and your shields and just about any weapon you find breaking shortly after you attempt using it. Because people will not, or Nintendo fans will not voice any kind of opinion against Nintendo because Nintendo is always right. I do find that frustrating, I have to admit. Like just about any other company, people will be like, no, that's terrible, that's awful. People will let Nintendo do anything and just be like, it is great, it is a work of genius, perfect. But yeah, I really hope the weapons, in a serious note, I hope the weapons aren't as flimsy or breakable in this new one. I have no problem with weapons that degrade over time. Most Soulsborne games have that, but you can still do like an entire area or a few dungeons. It's not like in the middle of a fight with an enemy, 2 or 3 of your weapons will break, and you'll be standing there without any weapons to fight a guardian, which has happened to me in Breath of the Wild. They went too far with it, and no one gave them any pushback. They're just like, brilliant. You know, it's like that Orson Welles clapping from Citizen Kane. It's like that meme. Or DiCaprio from The Great Gatsby. It's like that, you know. The clapping, I think there's fireworks in the background, that part. But I like Nintendo, right? It's just that I'm able to voice when I don't agree with certain things. Like the whole thing with amiibos in the beginning was crazy. The amount of scarcity they were trying to push with it. And I don't know. It just, I don't understand the company. I'll never understand Nintendo. Like at times I can understand Microsoft, I can understand Sony. I will never understand Nintendo. At any point. At any point. Now, some people see this and be like, all Nintendo bashing, huh, Hoarder? And no, one of the things we're going to talk about next are the games that are coming later. As in, later in 2023. Okay, so let's skip one of them and go to the next one. Metroid Prime 4. We might actually see something from Metroid Prime 4 soon. Apparently some leaker was like, I hope you're primed for some information or something to that extent. And this person leaked the original title of Tears of the Kingdom, apparently, in another somewhat clever, almost secretive way, the way of a message that they put out. So, Fax, good to see you, Fax. Sorry, everybody, if I'm not getting to chat super quickly. There's an issue where on my PC, not Facebook, YouTube just kind of went down, and I've had to refresh it like 2 or 3 times. I'll attempt it again, but right now I'm kind of using my phone here as a crutch. The page is having problems. So weird. Refresh. The page is having problems. It shouldn't. I don't allow it to do that. I don't allow it to have problems. Okay, maybe now it's finally gonna work. Let's hope. But yeah, Metroid Prime 4, if we're super lucky, maybe it'll come out in 2023. But regardless, we could be hearing something soon about it. And I really hope that's the case. So we got that. So again, not all Nintendo bashing at all, you know? I mean, Metroid Prime 4 is something I'm really looking forward to. So, yeah. I mean, I like Nintendo. I'll end up getting Tears of the Kingdom, even though, like I said, the weapons will probably break instantly. But, you know, beyond that, I think it'll be a pretty cool experience. They just need to tone that down, though, man. Or have a slider. Let us make the weapons a little more resilient. Why would all the weapons be broken anyway? I mean, would it like Ganon be like, what the hell, you know? It'd be like, I'm not going to give my soldiers or my army these weapons that break instantly. Okay, Star Wars Game as a Service from Ubisoft. We're supposed to hear more about that this year. One of the devs actually tweeted, so that is exciting. I'm excited about that. I really like The Division, and it's one of the main devs from The Division. So imagine something like that, a giant open world, and like all of a sudden there's AT-ATs. All of a sudden there's like, you know, Star Wars ships and things flying around. Maybe Millennium Falcon. I don't know if it'll be based on, you know, the Skywalker saga. I'm not sure, but I have no idea what time period. It could be the, I believe it's the High Republic. I think that's what they're called. Their most recent Star Wars type of franchise. But yeah, I think that's going to be awesome. And then Ubisoft, because they're, you know, crazy, they're also doing a big Avatar game. So Avatar's getting a game and Star Wars. I don't believe the Avatar is game as a service, though. I think it's more like, you know, a nice 30, 40-hour action adventure. I don't think it's a game as a service. That would be nuts. That'd be nuts if Ubisoft planned within 1 year to release 2 games as a service. I think that's one of the reasons that Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League might be a game as a service, and that Gotham Knights is not. Because that would have been lunacy. Lunacy for them to expect that people are going to play 2 games as a service from them. I'm still wondering how the whole Warframe situation is going to work out, everybody. Like, Warframe, there's another game with similar title, it's the same developer, and it looks really cool, and like, I think it's like medieval future or something. There's a trailer that doesn't make complete sense, but it's neat. So it's basically like that developer has 2 games as a service. But for that, it might work. Like, Warframe has a lot of players. Maybe they think some players are going to jump ship and try their new game. Maybe they think they're going to do both. I don't know. I mean, Warframe can even have its own conventions. That's how big it is. So, in that regard, what do I know? Everyone's least favorite apostle, Judas Iscariot. The new game Judas from Ken Levine, the creator of BioShock. There is an amazing trailer at the Game Awards that gave us no answers but many questions. It looked awesome, and it had what looked like BioShock type gameplay and visuals. It looks really great. It probably coming out this year. I would not be surprised. Maybe that'll be pushed to 2024. But yeah, it looks really good. I don't believe there's a release date. Judas. Of course, we have to talk about Spider-Man 2. And hopefully we'll be hearing some more about Spider-Man 2 very soon. I believe it's thought that it's going to be like maybe an August or September release. I think it was a fall or holiday is what has been kind of rumored. But yeah, both the Spider-Man games have been amazing. The Miles Morales game as well as Spider-Man were great. And Spider-Man 2 should be no different. I also believe it's next-gen only, which means that it'll look awesome on PS5 and should have great frame rate and everything. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that game. Very excited. I would have brought it up sooner, but we don't have more of an exact time for it. Nor do we even know like all the villains really, except like Venom. We know Venom's in it because of a trailer. We know that awesome actor Tony Todd is doing the voice of Venom, which is really great. So, does anyone think we're going to hear though about Wonder Woman or Wolverine? Do we think those will come out this year as well? I mean, that'd be crazy. Wonder Woman was at the Game Awards in 2021, the Game Awards I was actually attending. So, I mean, I think we should be hearing something from it soon. At this point, it probably has about 3 years in development, so they'd have something they could show. I would think. I don't think they just showed the freaking trailer before working on the game. And then there's a surprise EA Marvel game. What does everybody think that could possibly be? EA is doing a total of 3 Marvel games, and one of them is Iron Man. That's all we know right now, is that one of the games is Iron Man. But yeah, I'm looking for... Oh, actually, wait. One of them could be the Motive game, right? Is one of them the Black Panther Captain America game? I think it is. I think it is EA for that game. I'd have to check. I wouldn't make a bet on it, but that might be one of the second game. It might be just the third game that we don't know about yet from them. And yeah, I mean, the Wolverine game, I really hope they get the voice actor from who does Wolverine in Midnight Suns, because he's awesome. He does a great job, and sounds like Wolverine to me. I think he'd be really good. Anything anyone else wants to say about games? Otherwise, we're going to move on to other elements of the future. Yeah, but for me, though, I really want to see some gameplay for Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. We got a gameplay trailer, again, at the Game Awards in 2021, but man, I want a deep dive, you know? I want to get an idea of the game. I want to see some of the supervillains that are going to show up. Because I honestly don't think the bosses are just going to be members of the Justice League. There's got to be some, like, Legion of Doom villains or something that are profiting or somehow benefiting from what we think Brainiac is doing. I just can't think it's only Justice League members. Like Lex Luthor, he's got to be in Metropolis, right? Other Superman villains like Livewire and Parasite, they could be in Metropolis. That's one of the reasons I was thinking about Mr. Mxyzptlk basically taking the Riddler route, because it's a Superman character is in, you know, Metropolis quite a bit. So that's what I was looking at. Parasite would be very interesting, by the way. Working with Parasite to take on the Justice League would be interesting. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that so much, and Diablo. So with that, we'll actually leave gaming, and I do agree, Mike. Games are fun. They certainly are. So next up, everybody, obviously comics, because this is Hoarder's Comic Flex. So comics have to be here. Okay, so this is kind of weird, though, because when you're talking about the future of comics, you're usually looking at big events, new series coming out, and the indie companies, or the smaller companies, basically that aren't Marvel or DC, do not publicize, you know, the huge big events. Here and there, it'll be like, we have this new book is coming out, or this new book is coming out, right? So we're going to start with Marvel Comics. Already this January, like, I don't think it's next week, I think it's the week after. Sins of Sinister. Nathaniel Essex, Mr. Sinister, has been up to very sinister things. If you've been reading Immortal X-Men, you know that. And basically, I guess you'd say the chickens have come home to roost. And all his sins are laid bare to the rest of the X-Men, maybe the entire Marvel Universe. And there's a new book, Immoral X-Men. I don't know if it's a one-shot. I'm not sure. I think there's a few issues of Immoral instead of Immortal X-Men. And some other X-Men books that are part of this Sins of Sinister. So I'm looking forward to that, because I really liked the take on Mr. Sinister recently in the X-Men comics. I think there's going to be some really screwed up stuff we're going to find out about. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And honestly, we're like a week or two away, probably about 2 weeks, I think, from the first issue of that series. So, or I guess event. I guess we would call that an event. Okay. Captain America Cold War. Crossover between Sentinel of Liberty and I apologize. Now, of course, I forgot the other one. Well, there's two excellent Captain America comic books right now. One with Sam and one with Steve. And they're both really good. Well, there's going to be a story called Cold War that's going to be a crossover between those two. I don't know if there's going to be a separate Captain America Cold War series as well. That happens a lot with crossover events. But that sounds really neat. Then we got the Summer of Symbiotes. Not a lot of information, but sun's out, tongue's out. That's apparently the tagline they're going to be using. And then Fall of X, which could be the Fall of Krakoa. So, again, we're not sure exactly what that entails, but that's what it sounds like. It sounds like it could be the end of Krakoa or a new beginning. it sounds exciting. A lot of the X books recently have been awesome. I understand. I feel there's too many of them, but they've been good, you know. I haven't read all of them. I can't read all of them. But I've been reading X-Men Red, Immortal X-Men, and Marauders. So those three. Not really the flagship, though, book. And then Kang. Kang is going to be a big part of Marvel Comics next year. Timeless came out. I think it was a week or two. I think it was last week. And it's Kang's effect on the Marvel Universe is going to be a big thing for 2023 in the MCU as well as the comic books. See, with this, it's more like bullet points of events, and there's not as many things to go into. Like, there's a lot, like, more with movies than there is even the big comic events. DC has a very big event, though, the entire year for the most part. Dawn of DC. It's basically a soft relaunch like Rebirth was. And it entails a lot of Superman. And the Superman comic book, which was the Son of Kal-El, that's got a new title. But it's the same Son of Kal-El, same writer. So there's that. Then there's a whole lot of Superman. So I'm excited for that because I'm a big Superman and a Batman fan. And we got Batman we're going to be talking about in just a moment. Okay. There's a new Green Arrow book, which is neat because it's been years since they've had one. There's not been an actual ongoing Green Arrow book. And this is about Green Arrow getting back to the streets. Street level crime and things like that. I'm sure there'll be some sort of like, you know, mastermind or something involved. Of the criminals and everything, but it sounds really good. Lazarus Planet technically already started. Batman versus Robin, number 4, I believe it was. The Lazarus volcano blew up, and people around the world are getting abilities. So that sounds pretty crazy, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. Also, John Stewart, Green Lantern book. So a new Green Lantern book from the writer of Action Comics with about John Stewart, Green Lantern. So that's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. And the Batman thing I mentioned, everybody. Like I mentioned Batman, I said that's going to be happening too. The Brave and the Bold is back. In case you don't know what that is, The Brave and the Bold is this really cool series where it's Batman and another superhero, and they basically go on like adventures and fight crime. They might even have like a mystery to solve type of thing. It could be all sorts of different things, but it's this really cool team up book, and that is back in 2023. Brave and the Bold. I don't know if they've said the creative team on that though. I don't know who the writer and artist is on Brave and the Bold, but yeah. I think those are exciting things to look forward to for sure as a comic fan in 2023. Armageddon game for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that's still going on. I want to say that goes on till like April or something like that. It was a very long crossover, and it's been very good. But yeah, that's kind of the big IDW thing that I know of right now. But yeah, those are basically the big comic book events. So hilariously, there's a new Darkwing Duck comic too. That comes out, in like about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's supposed to be in January. It was not in next week's solicits. So that only leaves like 1 or 2 more weeks for it to come out this month. So now we're actually going to talk about visual media, and in this way we're talking about TV and movies. So that's actually going to be the last part of this future. So the future of visual media, as in television and movies. Okay. First off, we start real strong. We start crazy strong. In January, The Last of Us. Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey as Joel and Ellie. And I'm really impressed the way they're doing this. I thought they were going to milk this like HBO usually does. I thought it was going to be like 5 seasons to tell the first game. No. Apparently, each season is one of the games. It sounds like they're looking to only do 2 seasons of this show. And who knows, maybe if it's super popular, they'll do a 3rd season, and that'll be like kind of a prequel or something to the 3rd game. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work with the timeline of them if they are secretly working on a part 3. I'm sure a part 3 will come out. I just don't know if they're working on it yet. But yeah, so season 2 is going to be The Last of Us 2. So each season, again, I thought they would draw this out and take like 5 years to tell the one story. No, season 1 is the first game. Obviously, it's not word for word or scene for scene, but there's a number of moments that are in the game, including Ellie's girlfriend from, I believe it was Left Behind was the name of the DLC, the prequel DLC. She's in this. A lot of the great elements with the fireflies and everything. It looks so good. It looks so good. The scene with Joel running away with his daughter and his brother trying to escape, that's in the trailer, and it looks harrowing, especially because, like, you know how things are going to turn out. But yeah, Last of Us coming out in January. I believe it's like in a week or 2. It's real soon. So that's one of the huge TV things I'm really looking forward to. Okay, next up we got Yellow Jackets Season 2. I love this show. And even last week I talked about the previous season. The new season should be mind-blowing. Spoiler alert. What you found out at the very end of Yellow Jackets Season 2, again, spoiler alert, so if you don't want to know this. I won't go into direct details, but I am going to drop a bomb related to like the show and the content. Okay. So, there are indeed supernatural things going on. And it's basically this wild story that takes place in the 1990s of this girls' soccer team that gets stranded in a forest after a plane crash and how they survived. This is coupled with a story that takes place, I want to say it's about 15 to 20 years later, with the girls all grown up and living, you know, regular adult lives and trying to go on with their lives knowing about the events that occurred in that forest. So it's kind of like Lord of the Flies meets Lost. But for the longest time, you didn't know if there were actual supernatural things going on, if it was like mass hysteria, possible drugs. Like, it was hard to say exactly. But by the end of the first season, you get some answers into that, and it's insane. And the performances are great across the board. The young actresses that play the characters much younger, they're great. The adult actors that play the characters, they're great. The writing is great. It's a love letter of the 1990s. It is really awesome. Yellow Jackets. So the second season, they're keeping a lot from us. So like, there's not like huge trailers where we know what's happening. I don't even know what point of the year it's going to air. It might be like summer. Hell, it could even be fall. I'm not sure. But that's one of the shows I'm really looking forward to is Yellow Jackets Season 2. Next up, Kaleidoscope. Basically an experiment on Netflix that you can watch in any order. But the big part of it is Giancarlo Esposito, or I'm sorry, John. Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito is in it. And he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul. Do the Right Thing. A lot of people don't realize that. He's in Do the Right Thing. But he's in so many excellent movies and TV shows. Oh, I just found out he's in Usual Suspects. I just watched Usual Suspects like a couple weeks ago, and he's in that too. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Now, sadly, some of the early reviews, like from like media and stuff, were saying that it was kind of an experiment. And even though Giancarlo Esposito is amazing, the show itself sadly is not. And maybe it doesn't work as well as watching any episode in any order. So I don't know. I've not seen it yet, but it sounded like a really cool project. Straight Man, Bob Odenkirk, and he's cranky. I think that's going to be really good. Muriel Enos is in it, and she's a great actress. It's on AMC, where Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad were. So fingers crossed, that could be really awesome. Final season of The Flash, everybody. So I really like The Flash. That was probably my favorite show on the CW. I liked Arrow for the first 3 seasons. I loved it, actually. Season 1, Malcolm Merlyn. Season 2, Deathstroke. Season 3 was Ra's al Ghul. Thought it was phenomenal. Season 4 delved into magic. Damien Dark. That's, for me, is the point where my interest started to wane. Not Bruce Wayne. The other kind of Wayne. But yeah, I never really got back to my love of the show after season 4. And looking back at it, season 4, I think, was like better than some of the seasons after it. I will say, though, the season that has the flashbacks that take place in Russia with Dolph Lundgren, I thought that was a really good story arc. I really liked that story arc a lot. Man, they really lost me with the future stuff. I honestly just didn't care. I didn't know who a lot of the characters were, why I should care about them. Just because they're the relations or the kids of certain characters. It really didn't work for me. I think they were trying to do something really ambitious, and I don't feel it worked. I do feel, though, that just about all the Arrowverse miniseries were really good. I really like those a lot. But yeah, I've seen every season of Flash, just about every episode. I might have missed 1 or 2 here or there, but for the most part, I've seen them all. So I'll be looking forward to this final season. And the artwork dropped for the promo. It's basically Flash's boots. And a lot of people are like, they don't know what to make of that. And I'm just like, it's promo. It's just what it is. And then Night Court. Since I was like young, one of my favorite sitcoms was Night Court. And they're doing a reboot with, I believe it's the daughter of Judge Harry, and also John Larroquette is reprising his role as Dan Fielding. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's an interesting concept. I hope it's good. I don't know how it could really touch the original Night Court, but I'm looking forward to it. I also don't know if that's on the Peacock or if it's on NBC. I'm not sure. So, movies, of course. That's mostly what we're going to focus on. And not too much longer. I'd say less than like 10 minutes now. Scream 6. I love Scream 5. I'm a big fan of the Scream franchise. The only one I dislike is 3. I believe 3 had a different writer who didn't quite understand the characters. And there's certain things that are really contrived, even like for a horror movie, they're contrived. And I really didn't like Scream 3. But I was really happy Scream 4 came out, and I was like, oh, I like this, and I love Scream 5. So this has actually become one of my favorite horror series. So Scream 6, same writers as Scream 5. Hopefully it'll be very good. We'll see. Megan. But I believe it's the G is a 3? Like Mathrian? I think it looks cool. I feel that if the build up to like evil Megan is like well done, it could be awesome. I think it'd be really cool. Hey, Mr. Rage. Hey, Doom. Sorry, Doom. Had an issue with the YouTube channel, just like getting rid of chat. So I have to use my phone. So I apologize if I got to anyone in chat, that was waiting. But yeah, I think Megan looks neat. There's that really creepy scene in the trailer where she's dancing, and it looks very disturbing. It could be an awesome horror movie, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, let me see here. After Megan, we got Knock at the Cabin, which the trailer worried me at first because I thought it was a story about a group of Christian fundamentalists basically going and terrorizing a loving gay family. That's what the first trailer made it freaking look like. The second trailer makes it look more of a science fiction thing. So hopefully that is what it is. Because that first trailer, I was like, what are you doing, M. Night? What's going on here? I don't know about this, M. Night. What are you up to? Yeah. Dave Bautista's in it. Rupert Grint from the Harry Potter movies. I think it's going to be good. See, that's the thing, though, with M. Night Shyamalan, hit or miss. Some of the stuff is great. Some of it isn't. I've heard that Old is just okay. I've not seen Old yet, though. So that's one I still have to see. I used to be a huge Shyamalan fan, man. I used to see his movies like as soon as they hit. But then it was like Avatar: The Last Airbender, Lady in the Water, like The Happening, and it wasn't quite the same. It wasn't quite the same. Like I would say after Signs, The Village. Well, The Village, though, I at least thought was visually really impressive. I love the cinematography, and I loved how tense it was. But for me, it was really Lady in the Water and The Happening that made me not a huge Shyamalan fan anymore, to be honest with you. But yeah, I do think this new one looks cool. I do think Knock at the Cabin looks cool. Ant-Man Quantumania, and with Jonathan Majors as Kang. I feel it'll be worth seeing just for Jonathan Majors' performance. Like, I'm a fan of Ant-Man. I'm a fan of most of the MCU movies, but, like, he's going to knock it out of the ballpark. He already has as the mysterious character in the Loki TV series, who is Kang, not Kang. Is it the man at the end or something? He's got a wild name like that, or the person at the end. I don't know. He's got a very enigmatic name. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, Helen Mirren. One of the best actresses living right now, Helen Mirren, as a big bad. I'm looking forward to it. I really liked the first Shazam. I thought it was great. John Wick, Chapter 4. The other 3 chapters have been really good. So there's no reason to think Chapter 4 wouldn't be. Spider-Man Across the Universe, everybody. Pushed back, and we're finally getting it. So that's going to be great. And hopefully around that time we'll get information on the Spider-Man 2 video game. So I guess we'll see. Is there any of these movies everyone else is excited for? Because I think some of these, like Spider-Man Across the Universe, Across the Spider-Verse. I keep saying the Beatles thing because I think the first trailer used the Beatles song. Okay. I think that's going to be an awesome film. And the rumor of the big bad is very exciting if it's true. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I love Indiana Jones. I didn't love Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. James Mangold, awesome director. He freaking did Logan. He did oh my god, he did the one about Johnny Cash. Walk the Line. He did Walk the Line. He's awesome. So it could be amazing. I hope it is, because it would be really cool for Indiana Jones to go out on an awesome note, you know, because the idea of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull as the last Indiana Jones movie is very disappointing. Barbie. I think this is going to be a very clever take, and I think it's going to be really interesting and visually impressive. I really think Barbie could be a sleeper for this year. Hopefully. I also thought Don't Worry Darling would be. Didn't seem to pan out there. Okay, Oppenheimer. About the nuclear bomb. Chris Nolan basically recreated a nuclear explosion, practically. I don't even know what that means. I don't know if I want to know what that means, if I'd be able to sleep at night. I mean, I obviously don't think he blew up in a nuclear device, but I don't know. I just don't know. Yes, but I'm also very hyped for Spidey, Mr. Rage. No, Barbie's live action with Margot Robbie. Actually, I believe it's Robbie, sorry. Margot Robbie, live action. And, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember who plays Ken. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be this really insane, screwed up movie. I mean, it's going to be very clever. There's a trailer out already, but it doesn't tell you much about the story or anything like that. Okay. Next up, we got Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, Part 1. I gotta say, like, for me, the Mission Impossible movies have been amazing since, like, the third one. Like, I like the first one, you know. The second one, to me, just didn't gel. I don't know what it was. I like John Woo, so I don't know what it was with that movie. Maybe it was the script, I'm not sure. But I really like the third one. Philip Seymour Hoffman was amazing in it, and very creepy and almost terrifying as a villain. 4 was really good, but didn't have a super strong villain. It had more of like, kind of like, bad guys, but not like a super strong villain. But like 5 and 6 do. And those are excellent. And so I'm hoping for that with Dead Reckoning as well. And also, Dead Reckoning Part 2, I believe, is 2024. So the Mission Impossible movies have been rather solid. So looking forward to it. Wonka. Timothy Chalamet as Willy Wonka. We don't know much about it except like a picture of him in the outfit. But it could be crazy. It could be a neat experience. Speaking of Timothy Chalamet, Dune Part 2. Dune Part 1 was awesome. One of the best films I thought of 2021. I loved it. Visually impressive. Great take on the novel. Yeah, it was great. It was great. And then we have Blue Beetle, which I think will be interesting because a lot of people don't know the character that well. Thank you, Mr. Rage. Ryan Gosling is Ken. Thank you. I could see him I could see a picture of him in my head, but I could not remember his name. Thank you. Yeah, Blue Beetle is a very interesting character. I'm interested to see what people think of it. Because again, not as well known as probably even Shazam, to be honest with you. Definitely not as well known as Superman or Batman. And then also the new Aquaman movie. So there's a lot coming out this year, everybody. A lot to be excited about. What is the game that everyone's excited for? I'll end this with like the big game you're looking forward to, and then we'll ask about the comic and then the other thing. Movies and TV. Like I mentioned, for me, for games, it's Suicide Squad, Kills the Justice League, and Diablo 4. Those are the 2 games I'm most psyched for. And, you know, Jedi Survivor, of course. But yeah, if I'm just like narrowing it down to just a couple games coming out, those would be the ones this year that I'm really looking forward to. Yes, I think it'll have musical numbers in it. I don't know if the entire movie is a musical, though. I'm not sure. Yeah, there are dance numbers, but I don't know if the whole movie is a musical. I don't know if they're just showing a couple parts from it like that. Yeah, I believe it's directed by Greta Gerwig, which means it's going to be interesting. Suicide Squad, Wolverine, Wukong. Mike said Wukong too. In chat, Mike Ortega earlier said that too. That it looks neat. Don't get me wrong. It's just for me, it would be constant frustration. Yeah, it's like a Soulsborne game. I believe it's Koei Tecmo. I think it's Koei Tecmo. But yeah, Suicide Squad definitely. Wolverine, I don't know if that'll be this year. That could be 2024. I'm not sure. Because if Spider-Man comes out fall or holiday of 2023, which is when we're expecting it, Spider-Man 2, I don't know how Wolverine could come out this year. Maybe Wolverine is the spring game for 2024? I don't know. And then Wonder Woman. When's that? You know? For comics, oddly enough, Sins of Sinister. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Finding out what he was really doing in the background. And yeah, he's one of the most interesting characters in Marvel Comics in 2021. So, or I'm sorry, 2022. So I'm interested to see what he's been up to. And of course, the dawn of DC. A whole mess of different parts of that are really exciting to me. Brave and the Bold, for sure. For movies, Scream 6. That would be way up there for me. The new Mission Impossible. I'm trying to think what superhero film I think will be the best. Like, I really do like the first Shazam, so I'm hoping that's good. It's more difficult for me with movies because I'm looking forward to like a lot of them for different reasons. That would make sense, Mr. Rage. That would make sense. Or at least closer to like having a release date for Spider-Man. Because let's be honest, almost anyone with a PS5 isn't going to be like, oh, I'm not going to get Spider-Man, I'll get Wolverine instead. Just about everyone I know loves both those characters. Like, I don't think that would, what they call cannibalize sales at all. I don't think it would. Kang actor to make Ant-Man better than people think. Oh, Jonathan Majors is awesome. I think his performance will be phenomenal in the most recent trailer. It's already really exciting. Also, I love the first Ant-Man. I didn't love the second one, but I love the first one. So I have a lot of hope for this new one. And I think even like, I think Scorsese has I think a murder mystery coming out too this year. With DiCaprio, I think it is. But yeah, a lot of awesome films, a lot of awesome games, and a lot of awesome comic books. And I want to thank everyone very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, especially with the technical issues we had with losing chat a few times. Very interesting Hasn't happened to me before. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And if you want to check out my stream, it's twitch.tv/Hoardergamer. My next stream will be tomorrow night, probably between 7 and 8 p.m. Central starting time. I'm trying to get it more locked into a 7 p.m. Central, so we'll see how that goes. I'd like to thank Doomkiller HD and Doom Squad Gaming for letting me borrow their channel. Thank you very much. Thank you. And again, I'm sorry about the technical issues, but I hope the show was at least fun or interesting. The format will be a bit more ordinary next week. We'll have comic book reviews again. We'll talk about toys. Real quick before I let everyone go, the craziest toy I saw, get this, a $400 collection for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The 112 collective. So I believe each figure is like 12-inch scale. And with like what they call soft goods, like clothing. And it's insane, no. It's like 12 heads, 40 or 50 hands with different poses. Like, it's an insane amount of detail. But I was like, oh my god, a $400 collection. Okay, but yeah, that's the one toy I think I'll mention then this week. But thank you, everybody, and I will see you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.